The Udmurt Republic is a Russian federal subject located in the Volga Federal District. The administrative center is Izhevsk. The titular nation of Udmurtia is the Udmurts. Udmurtia is a region of forests, rivers, and quiet plains in the western foothills of the Ural Mountains, where Finno-Ugric traditions have endured alongside centuries of Russian state expansion. Situated between the Kama and Vyatka river basins, the republic forms part of the Volga-Ural cultural zone, a landscape shaped less by dramatic geography than by long-term settlement, agriculture, and woodland life. The climate is continental, with cold winters and warm summers, supporting farming, forestry, and a dense pattern of rural villages. The indigenous people of the republic are the Udmurts, a Finno-Ugric people closely related to the Komi, Mari, and Mordvins. The Udmurt language is officially recognized alongside Russian, though Russian dominates in urban and administrative contexts. Traditionally, Udmurt society centered on agriculture, animal husbandry, hunting, and beekeeping, with strong communal structures tied to villages and extended families. Folklore, ritual songs, and seasonal festivals played a central role in preserving identity in a region where political power was long exercised from outside. Before Russian expansion, Udmurt lands lay at the crossroads of Finno-Ugric, Turkic, and Slavic worlds. From the medieval period onward, the area came under increasing influence from Russian principalities and later the Muscovite state, especially after the conquest of the Kazan Khanate in the 16th century. Incorporation into Russia was gradual but firm, accompanied by Orthodox missionary activity and the spread of Russian settlement. As in neighboring regions, Christianization did not fully erase indigenous beliefs. Instead, traditional Udmurt religion focused on nature spirits, sacred groves, and ancestor veneration persisted in parallel, often blending with Christian practices. Under the Russian Empire, Udmurtia remained largely rural and peripheral, with limited industrial development. The Soviet period brought far-reaching changes. The creation of the Udmurt Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic institutionalized Udmurt identity within the framework of Soviet nationality policy. Mass literacy campaigns, education in the Udmurt language, and the development of local cultural institutions occurred alongside rapid industrialization. The capital, Izhevsk, became a major industrial center, particularly known for arms manufacturing and engineering, most famously associated with the Kalashnikov rifle. This industrial focus drew large numbers of Russian-speaking workers into the republic, accelerating urbanization and demographic change. The Soviet era also imposed heavy social costs. Collectivization disrupted traditional village life, religious practices were suppressed, and Udmurt cultural elites faced political repression. Over time, the Udmurt language retreated from public life, especially in cities, as Russian became the dominant language of education and upward mobility. By the late Soviet period, Udmurts had become a minority within their own republic, a situation that continues today. In the post-Soviet era, Udmurtia has faced economic and cultural challenges. While Izhevsk remains an important industrial hub, dependence on defense manufacturing has made the regional economy vulnerable to shifts in state demand. Rural areas struggle with depopulation, aging communities, and limited economic opportunities. At the same time, the Republic has not experienced the high-profile political or security crises seen in some other regions, giving it a reputation for relative stability. Culturally, there have been renewed efforts to preserve and revive Udmurt language and traditions. Folk music, distinctive polyphonic singing, embroidery, and ritual practices remain important symbols of identity. Modern Udmurt writers, musicians, and activists have sought to adapt traditional culture to contemporary forms, though language shift toward Russian remains a major concern. Public debates over language education and cultural policy reflect broader tensions between assimilation and preservation. Udmurtia also entered international awareness in a tragic way in 2019 when an Udmurt scholar and activist self-immolated in protest against language policies, drawing attention to the pressures faced by minority languages in Russia. This event underscored the emotional weight that cultural survival carries for many Udmurts and highlighted the fragility of indigenous identities in a modern state. Udmurtia's story is one of quiet endurance rather than dramatic conflict. Its people have navigated centuries of external rule, industrial transformation, and cultural pressure while retaining a sense of Finno-Ugric distinctiveness rooted in land, memory, and communal life. In the wider mosaic of Russia, Udmurtia represents the understated but deeply significant presence of Europe's easternmost Finno-Ugric world, where ancient traditions continue to negotiate space within a modern, centralized state. Like, comment, and share to support this channel. Subscribe for more hidden corners of the world.